Hello, my name is Jack Monkman and I'm a second year BA International Business student at Leeds Beckett University. And today I'll be presenting to you how Nike applies different consumer behaviour theories to their marketing to produce the most effective marketing strategies. Nike are an American sportswear and equipment manufacturer and retailer who were founded in 1964 by Phil Knight and Bill Bowerman at the University of Oregon. The company was actually originally founded as Blue Ribbon Sports and was initially the American distributor for Japanese sports shoe brand Onitsuka Tiger. Their famous swoosh logo was first used in 1971, with the brand renamed to Nike in 1978, with their initial public offering on the New York Stock Exchange in 1980. The company was founded in Beaverton, Oregon, United States of America, and their global headquarters are still there to this day. Nike sells a range of lifestyle and sporting wear, ranging from shoes, sport-related and lifestyle, to other items of apparel such as trousers, tracksuits, t-shirts, anything you can really think of, as well as replica kits of sponsored sporting teams such as FC Barcelona, the University of Oregon Ducks, as well as the whole National Basketball Association in America. Some of their popular shoe models range from Nike Air Force Ones, Nike Blazers, the Air Max and the Air Jordan series. Nike's marketing strategy focuses heavily on high quality, high budget advertisement films, usually displayed on television, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, as any other relevant social media platforms. They have long used influencer marketing by endorsing professional sporting stars, famous actors and comedians who promote the brand on social media, endorse and wear relevant apparel with their sport or lifestyle, and appear in said advertisement films. Nike are also incredibly well known for their slogans, such as "Just Do It," which has become synonymous with the brand and the swoosh logo. In recent years, they have looked to form creative collaborations with brands such as Apple, Supreme and Stussy, and coming from this, products such as the Nike Apple Watch and the Supreme Nike Air Force One shoe. Unfortunately, like many people in the world, Nike has too been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic situation, seeing an unusual fall in sales revenue. The business saw a 2% decrease in 2020 to $37.4 billion and a net income decrease of a further 36% to $2.5 billion. The market they operate in has a value of $516.2 billion, which Nike holds a 7.2% share of. The market has competitors such as Adidas, Lululemon, Asics, Under Armour, Reebok and Fila, among others. Outside of the sportswear realm, because the business does also operate in the lifestyle areas, you have PVH Corp, who own and market Calvin Klein and Tommy Hilfiger. In terms of competitors, we'll be focusing mainly on Under Armour and Adidas in this presentation. Our first area of consumer behaviour theory to evaluate is learning and memory. The concept of learning can be defined by Solomon et al. 2016 as a relatively permanent change in behaviour that is caused by experience. Learning can occur through simple associations between a stimulus and a response or via a complex series of cognitive activities. We're going to focus more on behavioural learning. This assumes that learning takes place as a result of responses to external events. Psychologists who believe in these theories believe the mind is a black box and emphasise the observable aspects of behaviour, such as stimulus and response, which we're going to focus on. This concept can be seen in the figure below. Within learning is our first consumer behaviour theory, which is classical conditioning. This is described by Solomon et al. 2016 as occurring when a stimulus that elicits a response is paired with another stimulus which initially does not elicit a response of its own. As time progresses, this second stimulus causes a similar response because it is now associated with the first stimulus. This was first demonstrated by Russian physiologist Ivan Pavlov, using dogs and their change in reaction over time when a bell is rung before they receive food, and is shown in the diagram in the next slide. In his study of animals' digestive systems, Pavlov identified dogs would salivate when presented with food. Initially, Pavlov rang a bell to the dog, showing no response. However, when Pavlov rang the bell and then presented the food, the dog would salivate. This bringing together the unconditioned stimuli of the bell and food with the unconditioned reaction of salivation. After the dog was conditioned enough, the bell would become the conditioned stimuli, and the salivating being the conditioned reaction. Essentially, the dog would salivate when the bell was rung, as it believed it was about to be presented with food, regardless of whether at the time of the bell being rung that was the inevitable outcome or not. When we look at this theory in a modern day sense, we can see Nike's 2020 short advertisement film Behind the Mercurial Dream Speed 3, showing Portuguese world famous footballer Cristiano Ronaldo thanking his younger self for being so dedicated and hardworking to reach the heights of where he is today. When we apply classical conditioning to this, we can see the showing of Ronaldo is the unconditioned stimulus, labelled US, which leads to the unconditioned response, labelled UR, of feeling inspired and motivated to succeed, as Ronaldo is shown doing this in his advertisement to exponential heights. As Nike, the neutral stimulus labelled NS, partners with Ronaldo, the unconditioned stimulus, we still get the unconditioned response of inspiration and motivation to succeed through this partnership. Through conditioning, Nike actually becomes the conditioned stimulus, which, due to its partnership with the unconditioned stimulus, inherently leads to the now conditioned response of feeling inspired and motivated. Because Nike is the conditioned stimulus, this is what us as consumers will feel when we see the Nike products and branding. This will actually now allow Nike's brand to be perceived as more positive and more beneficial to viewers, as they will believe they will be motivated by the brand, but really, it's by Cristiano Ronaldo. This will increase the likelihood viewers will become purchasers and therefore increasing sales revenue for the business. Here we can see an example of one of Nike's competitors, Under Armour, mirroring this theory and concept in the 2020 advertisement film The Only Way Is Through. This shows Liverpool footballer Trent Alexander-Arnold and his humble beginnings dreaming of being a footballer. This is then followed by him training intensely, surrounded by Under Armour branding and wearing the brand's clothes. This is then further followed by clips showing a mural of him in Liverpool and fans chanting his name, showing he's actually been able to achieve his boyhood dream through hard work and dedication. This, much like the Nike advertisement, presents the unconditioned stimulus of Trent Alexander-Arnold, which brings along the unconditioned response of feeling inspired to reach goals and succeed through what we're shown in the advertisement. Through this partnership of Under Armour and Trent Alexander-Arnold and conditioning, viewers will continue to experience this unconditioned response, leading to Under Armour eventually becoming the conditioned stimulus. By Under Armour becoming the conditioned stimulus, they are bringing across the now conditioned response that they help inspire and motivate people to reach their goals and succeed. Like Nike's attempts, this will make viewers believe they ignite this conditioned response, even though really it is due to the story of Trent Alexander-Arnold himself. This will help increase the positivity of the brand's image and the perception it is motivating, increasing the likelihood, again, like Nike, that viewers will become consumers. In terms of comparing the two adverts together, Nike's advertising is more serious and focuses more on Ronaldo's hard work and efforts he's put in, while Under Armour's is more heartfelt and compassionate and focuses more on the end goal that Trent Alexander-Arnold has been able to achieve and less on the journey it took him to get him there. I firmly believe that both attempts at utilising the theory are great, but Nike's are better, primarily due to their endorsing. Both players have global fame and captivating stories. However, Cristiano Ronaldo has a much larger global following and social media presence, meaning more viewers will notice him and therefore be more engaged into the marketing and therefore more likely to purchase the product. Within the concept of learning is also operant conditioning. This is also defined by Solomon et al. As learning that occurs through rewards and punishment for behaviour. An individual makes an association between a particular behaviour and a consequence. Psychologist B.F. Skinner demonstrated this, teaching animals to dance and pigeons to play ping pong, etc., systematically rewarding them should they meet his desired behaviours. This does differ from classical conditioning, as it involves deliberately made conditions to achieve a set goal, potentially involving greater complexity should it not work, while classic is involuntary but simple. A form of marketing Nike used to apply operant conditioning to is the Nike Member Scheme. This is a free to sign up scheme where members are rewarded with free shipping, exclusive deals, product offerings, as well as invitations to members only sporting events, among other valuable offers. Consumers are rewarded with being active on the website, so they will therefore make an association between using Nike's website for sportswear browsing and purchases and receiving these valuable incentives as a result, which can help save money. This will lead to a better perception of the brand by consumers, increasing the likelihood of return purchases, as well as positive word of mouth marketing, something I'll discuss later in the presentation. In comparison to Nike, a large competitor of theirs, German sportswear retailer and manufacturer Adidas, has developed their own loyalty scheme, the Adidas Creators Club. Like Nike's strategy, it's free to sign up. However, it differs as it involves a point collecting and level system, where the more points you accumulate, the higher the level you'll achieve, and the better rewards you will inevitably receive. Rewards are similar to Nike's member scheme, with points being gained through participating in running events, leaving reviews on purchased products, and purchasing items online. However, the scheme doesn't allow its users to identify how they've actually accumulated points or their accumulation history, missing out on taking advantage of the endowed process effect. A 2006 published study by Nunes and Drez at a car wash showed by giving a loyalty card to customers which had 2 initial free stamps on it versus to another which had no initial free stamps but required the accumulation of 2 less stamps in total to receive a free wash, saw a redemption rate amongst consumers being 15% higher in the first group with the 2 free stamps. That's a 34% redemption rate versus a 19%. Adidas fails to take advantage of this effect by not giving members a breakdown, not letting them know how they've accumulated points and where they've accumulated points. This will lead members to be less likely to return to the business and therefore be less likely to encourage others to join the scheme through word of mouth, decreasing sales revenue. Here are some images showing the company's use of branding and advertising for the Creators Club scheme, as well as a breakdown of how the level and point accumulation system works. A second area of consumer behaviour is attitude. This is defined by Fishbein and Adjison as a learned predisposition to respond in a consistently favourable or unfavourable manner in relation to some objects. One theory within attitude is Haider's balance theory. This was first published by Fritz Heider in the 1958 book, The Psychology of Interpersonal Relations, and believes relations between humans and attitudes are among 3 elements. One person, labelled P, causes another person or group, labelled O, to cause an event, something usually involving a change in attitude, which is X. Heider believed attitudes were structured in triads, with each element of a triad either positive or negative and affecting the overall attitude. Heider stated that within triads, consistency and balance was key to enable harmony between people and attitudes. Nike applies balance theory through their 2018 campaign Dream Crazier. The advertisement film aims to empower women and change society's views on women in sport and bring across how unbelievable the achievements and talents of women in sport are. Nike also uses these images to break the traditional norms of women's sportswear advertisements, involving a lot of objectification and sexualization of women in an effort to please the male gaze and sell products. When we apply this to Heider's theory, we can see that P is Nike and its endorsed athletes, O is society, and X is the change in attitude towards women in sport, their achievements and abilities in sport, as well as in comparison to men, and the objectification of women in advertising. Adidas applied Heider's balance theory through their commercial and social partnership with Partly, the global environmental organisation aiming to decrease plastic wastage in our oceans. Their collaboration has produced over 11 million pairs of shoes from recycled ocean plastic, saving many seas, animal lives, and depolluting our Earth's oceans. When we apply this to Heider, we can see that P is Adidas, who are causing O, society, and Adidas consumers to X, decrease their use of single-use plastics, increase recycling, their environmental awareness, and spend their money with corporations who are helping the planet rather than hindering it, like Adidas. In terms of comparison between Nike and Adidas' application of balance theory, they are different approaches, but carry the same intentions of making the world a better, more positive place. One is changing social norms and thinking in terms of genders, while the other in terms of our wastage, while simultaneously saving the planet. The Nike Dream Crazy campaign saw worldwide coverage, featuring some of the world's most famous women in sport. However, the Adidas Partly collaborations are ongoing and have registered exponential numbers in terms of sales, showing the latter is likely a more successful campaign. However, the fact is, it is ongoing and should be considered. A third area of consumer behaviour I will cover is that of the self-concept. Solomon et al. 2016 defines this as the totality of the individual's thoughts and feelings having reference to himself as an object, with it involving heavily the idea of comparing yourself to others through upwards and downwards social comparison seen in the following slides. Social comparison theory was developed by American social psychologist Leon Festinger in 1954 and states there exists in the human organism a drive to evaluate his opinions and abilities, and that an individual will naturally, in order to evaluate their abilities, compare their performance to that of other individuals. Festinger also stated he believed a person's cognition, his opinions and beliefs, about the situation in which he exists and his appraisals of what he is capable of doing, his evaluation of his abilities, will together have bearing on his behaviour. Within this, we can see the ideas of upwards and downwards social comparison, each depending on the individual's perception of themselves and their abilities, bringing changes in self-esteem and thinking as a result. Nike applies social comparison theory through endorsing one of the most famous and successful sporting stars of our generation, Lakers basketball player LeBron James. James appears in the 2018 Nike advertisement film I Believe, which centres around one of his first press conferences as an NBA player in 2003. Here he states, despite only being 18 years old, he feels no pressure about playing in the NBA and is just excited, showing incredible confidence and self-assurance many would aspire and envy him to have. The film goes on to show captivating scenes from his career from and since that moment, such as being drafted, winning multiple NBA championships, and even opening a school for at-risk children in his hometown. Nike uses social comparison theory by showing LeBron's success, power, and clear accumulation of wealth. This will force a viewer to upwardly compare themselves, as likely they're not on the same level that James is, causing an inevitable dip in self-esteem in viewers. However, the upwards comparison will encourage viewers to think about how to enhance their own lives, bringing out motivation and inspiration inside of them purely from this advertisement. Through association, viewers will actually end up seeing the Nike brand as motivating, encouraging purchases of their products and a more positive brand image in total. Like Nike, Adidas have used social comparison theory through the endorsement and display of a leader in sport, in this sense Lionel Messi, the FC Barcelona forward who is regarded as one of the greatest footballers of all time. In the advertisement film, The Gift, Ready for Sport, clips of Messi are shown playing for Argentina, beating players and scoring goals in unbelievable fashion, showing off his incredible footballing abilities. This ignites the upward social comparison in viewers, as it is likely they will not possess the sporting abilities of Messi, making them aspire to be able to perform like him. Again, this will motivate viewers to be able to do so, or at least to improve their abilities in their chosen sport and become better versions of themselves. This will help increase sales of Adidas sporting wear, as Messi is seen throughout the advert in the striking Adidas Argentina jersey, as well as Adidas football boots. And with viewers essentially wanting to be like Messi, they will be encouraged to purchase products he is seen wearing. The advertisement also shows off some of his humble and seemingly normal home life, making viewers able to resonate with someone they previously thought they wouldn't have been able to, increasing their engagement in the advertisement and the brand. The final area of consumer behaviour I'll focus on is reference groups. This is defined as an actual or imaginary institution, individual or group, conceived as having significant relevance upon an individual's evaluations, aspirations, or behaviour. I'll be focusing specifically on amplified word-of-mouth marketing, occurring when the marketing is orchestrated by marketers to get attention to the brand and its own offerings. Nike has applied the concept of amplified word-of-mouth marketing with their Run Club app for smartphones and smartwatches. One could argue this is actually a social media platform, which allows you to track your running progress and times while connecting you with others on the app and sharing your progress. You can also actually share your progress externally to other social media platforms to show your friends and families what you've achieved, which is what Nike wants you to do. The app gets users discussing Nike as a brand. Users are also directed to new product offerings from the company, as well as being able to share with others which Nike running shoes they're currently using and track how many miles they log in each shoe. Here we can see some pictures from Nike's website, which shows off the app interface and features of the application. Nike's competitor, Under Armour, has also developed a similar application, applying amplified word-of-mouth marketing also with the app Map My Run for smartphones and smartwatches. This includes similar exercise tracking and performance measurement functions and a community where you can share your progress within and out the app on other social media platforms. However, unlike Nike's attempt at this app, Map My Run includes paid add-ons such as the MVP feature, where users can share real-time tracking with other users and experience no advertisements. When I compare the two together, I believe both apps serve positively to each business individually. The in-app advertising of brand products helps increase traffic to retail websites, meaning the likelihood of purchases increases, and the encouragement by the apps to exercise spreads the company's positive brand images and helps society as a whole. Personally, I believe Under Armour's attempts at using tracking applications as marketing are better. This is due to Map My Run allowing tracking connectivity to specific Under Armour shoes, but not all of them. This encourages users of the app to be involved in the brand more and purchase more from the company, increasing sales revenue and brand loyalty should the products be highly regarded by customers. If the products are highly regarded by customers, this also increases the likelihood that they will engage in word of mouth and spread their positive experiences to other potential customers. Here are some images to show you the interface of the Map My Run app, as well as these smart shoes I previously mentioned with their feature and their product. In conclusion, I believe Nike has established an incredibly powerful brand who utilizes consumer behavior theory excellently to generate sales through marketing. The brand is able to successfully motivate consumers and through this generate sales. And although the business has seen slight decline recently in sales, this is to be expected due to the current ongoing world climate with COVID-19. I expect the business to grow the next financial year and onwards from this, COVID provided, and to continue utilising the aforementioned areas of consumer behaviour theory to generate financial success. Thank you for listening. Reference slides will follow.